LakelandCarKeys.com. Currently working on a 2010 GMC Arcadia. The customer believes it has a bad PCM, so they ordered this replacement from Flagship 1, and we are using the OBDSTAR DC706, and we are going to clone the original using the MP001 adapter. Alright, sorry about that. So, yeah, I am using the MP001 adapter. Big shout out to globalcommerce.ca. He has a video here on YouTube of cloning this exact same PCM. I had came out here prior to, doing this, and it was actually the day after I watched this video. I didn't realize that this car had this exact PCM in it. And my device, when I connected it, told me that, I'm going to need the MP001. And, obviously I had to order it. So, I gave my guy the business. I ordered this from him. He got it shipped out to me. And now I'm in business. So I've talked to a few people online who said that they have attempted to clone one of these E69 Bosch PCMs. And they were unable to connect, and, I am actually connected. I already read the EEPROM in the flash. I have them backed up, but I will walk through that procedure just to show you what I did to get it going, and, because the instructions could seem a little bit off. When you're hooking up, all right, so I just got my basic cable coming down from the 706. It's running in. This is connector 1, and then connector 2, I have the split out harness from the P003. Now the machine tells you that you have to use the P003 plus the MP001 to connect. So you would think that you would plug the P003 in, plug the harness and all that. It does not work that way. I actually tried that my first time after reading it, and that's not what you do not need to hook up the P003. You can set it aside. All you need is the breakout harness from the P003. You plug that into where it says C2, and then you hook up the wires according to the diagram. Now, when we get back to the diagram, actually, let me go ahead and disconnect from this just so I can show you. So there could be different variations of what it is you need. So when you go in, the first thing you're going to want to do is look at the picture. So this GM Bosch MED 9.6.1 MPC 561-2, there's two different versions of that same number, but the cases are shaped a little bit different. So match what your, one's a little bit longer, one's a little bit more square. I had the one that was a little bit longer, so I matched up the image. And then there are two different pinouts. They're pretty similar, but the GP10 on one is in pin location 30. All right, let me go back. And then on the second image, the GP10 is in pin 35. Now on mine, I had to connect to pin 35. So with pin 35 connected, I was able to read the EEPROM, back it up, read the flash, back it up. So now I'm going to switch over to the new PCM that they got from Flagship 1. Flagship 1 did update their VIN number in this PCM, but it needed more programming to actually sync to the car. Now, the first time I came out here, I just tried programming the keys, thinking, it's just a mobilizer issue, and that did not work. I put the original PCM that did run the car back in, and the keys that I programmed started the car. The original keys started the car, so I know that, the key programming worked, but like I said, there was more additional programming. I probably could have ran it through SPS online, but at the time I was trying to get on, the server was down, and I just didn't want to have to deal with all that. So I ended up buying the MP001 just in case I run into this in the future. And so what I'm going to do now is hook up this this new PCM and essentially clone it, that all the information from the old unit is now onto the new unit. So before I do that, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to go back and just go into the menu. So there's two different, one's an ME and one's an MED. So you got to pay attention to which one you need. And I don't think I even actually seen those actual part numbers on this PCM. So like I said, I looked at the pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. It's, you have to have a good internet connection, and then look at the picture. So see how this one is a little bit more of a square shape. It's not as long as the D model. So I know that one was not what I was looking for. So you go back and scroll. This is what we needed. All right, go ahead and hit start. Let it connect to the server. And then if you have any other questions, you could always go into the guide. It will run down some more information for you, and it actually gives you the hookup diagram that I talked about here earlier. So you do not need the yellow box, the P003. You just need the breakout harness, and you go ahead and connect it, and you should be able to read. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to swap into the new PCM, and then I'll walk you through putting the flash and the EEPROM on it. So back. Alright, so it's all hooked up. I am going to go ahead and power up this unit. Alright, so we got communication going on there. So in the main GMC menu, we're in the engine ECM programming. So like I said, we need the MED, which is there. Select it. I'll go ahead and hit start. Alright, so I didn't see this last time, but it gives you a little bit more information on pulling numbers from the tag. Alright. Alright, so we gotta connect to the server. And I am using my hotspot on my phone. Alright. Give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me pull this number. Alright, so when I read the original ECU, it did not ask me to do this. So I'm gonna pause for 1 second. Hook this number in and make sure I get through. I'm gonna need 2 hands, so I can't hold the phone. I'll be back in 1 moment. Alright, so now that we're all back connected, we have everything wired up as it's supposed to. We are in the ECM programming section. We selected MED9, that's the PCM that we have. So we're gonna go ahead and hit start. Alright, we're gonna connect to the server. And like I said, I already showed you the pinouts and everything. We're going to go ahead and try to connect. See, it tells us this function is only supported by P003 plus adapter and MP001 programmer. Alright, so we don't use the P003 adapter, just the P003 harness and MP001. So, their translation is a little off there, but like I said, if you looked in the guide and you looked in, you know, how they have it set up, you have a visual. So we are connecting to the ECU. It's communicating. All right, we'll give this a couple of seconds. All right, we're going through the security verification. All right, we're communicating. All right, and we are successfully connected. As you see, we have both our read and our write options available. I'm actually going to back up the original information that FS1 put on this. So I'll just go ahead and read the EEPROM. And as you see, that's like instantly. It takes less than a second for it to go ahead and read that information. I'm just going to just say, you know, this is backup FS1. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. Click OK. Then I'm going to read the flash, back it up. So the flash, you know, it's reading through the sectors. There's 46 addresses. And, you know, this usually takes a couple of minutes. It's a lot longer than reading the EEPROM. So I'm going to let this do what it do, and I will connect back in once it's done. We back it up, and then what we'll do is we'll load the files we read from the original and flash them in. All right, so we're back. We just finished uploading the flash on that backup unit. I'm just going to go ahead and label this backup FS1. Click OK. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to go back. I'm going to write the flash from the original first and then write the EEPROM. So I'm going to go into write flash, load external data, click OK. Click OK. All right, so these two are the FS1 files that I backed up. And then this was the first E69 EEPROM and then the E69 flash. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. You know, see, it doesn't say backup or FS1, so it's the right file. All right, so it skipped some, saying that the data was the same. So this might actually go through pretty fast. It's all hex information, so the computer can compare what it is real fast. And so sector 36 right here, it seems like it's writing some information. All right, sector 37. So basically 1 through 35 was all the same information between the old and the new PCM. And so now we're getting down here, we're writing some. All right, so 48 through 46 was the same. So that was pretty fast, considering that's a pretty awesome feature that, you know, it verifies the information of both files, and we'll just go ahead and skip over and not rewrite what it doesn't have to. So next we can go ahead and write the EEPROM. We're going to load external data again. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then, so that was the very first file that we read, this EEPROM that doesn't say FS1 backup. So we're going to go ahead, click OK. All right. So it's writing the EEPROM, it's communicating, and again, that took about a second, and we're done. So ideally now we should be able to take this, plug it into the car, and it should start up and run just as if that original PCM was still in there. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up and test it out. All right, so we got the new PCM plugged into the connectors. That's the original one there. We have 4 keys. They had their 2 originals, and like I said, the last time we were here, we made them 2 new keys, thinking that we was doing all keys lost and programming the PCM, the mobilizer, but that wasn't the case. So we're here. There goes your mobilizer light, the little lock, and it goes out, so that's good. The key recognizes and it starts up and runs. Now, I explained to this customer the symptoms that he was telling me. You know, sometimes he would randomly drive down the street and it would shut off, or, you know, he would lose controls of, you know, certain things in the car. And I told him, you know, to me that sounded more like a body control module issue. There's a good chance this new PCM is not going to resolve his issue. But he had already brought the PCM, so he was okay with me still doing the programming. And if the issues still persist, then he will go ahead and purchase a new PCM and have us come clone that also. So this is, I'm going to chalk this up as a successful clone job. The Bosch E69 GM PCM. These are found in quite a few of the GM vehicles, the V6 vehicles, maybe others in that 2010 area. I know I was looking at a Camaro the other day that also had the same PCM. So yeah, definitely, if you're into PCM cloning, definitely get a OBDSTAR DC706, and definitely get the MP001 attachment and the P003. I mean, you're definitely gonna need them. And they've saved me so many times. They've come in handy. So we're going to chalk this one up as a completed job. I already tested these other keys. All the keys work, and they are good to go. LakelandCarKeys.com.